Aita. For making my daughter leave because my husband is attracted to her? I, 55F, have been married to my husband and my daughter's stepdad, 63M, for 4 years. My 23-yo daughter and I have a complicated relationship. She has been diagnosed with dissociative identity disorder. She has a lot of trauma from watching me and my husband's horrible marriage go down and was bullied in school. When she told me she was being bullied by peers, my view that all children are innocents really tied my hands because I told her that if I said anything to them, I would be an adult harassing a child. She has blamed me for that ever since, and keeps referring to this one time where the kids at school called her trash due to the fact that she wasn't taking care of her hygiene due to depression. Not all of my response was telling her to take a shower, and I bought her new clothes. The bullying finally ended with an expulsion and a suspension for the ringleaders. She still throws the fact that a school clinic volunteer told her that if she was their kid, she'd have permission to punch back if administrators didn't do anything. I thought that having her live with me while she finishes school and gets a job would help heal some childhood wounds if my second husband and I modeled a healthy relationship. However, my daughter now doesn't get along with my husband. She is a very introverted, creative person who likes immersing herself in escapism. So she'd get annoyed if she was sitting eating alone, and my husband would sit across from her and eat, saying she ate later so she could eat alone. However, my husband started acting distant from me, and my daughter complained that his eyes lingered for too long. She got very angry, and there was a lot of shouting and slamming of doors. Finally, my husband admitted he's attracted to her and it's hard to be around her all day, said she was walking temptation, and said that's why he was avoiding sex with me. I was so upset to hear this. I don't blame my daughter for this, but at the same time, the situation has become unbearable. Something would have to give, and I couldn't collect my thoughts with both of them still being in the house. So I gave my daughter money to stay at an extended stay hotel and asked her to utilize her college's emergency financial and housing resources they have for students in need. She responded by storming out and telling my ex, who is now circling social media, using it to paint me as the villain of all villains. I'm not abandoning my daughter. She qualifies for those resources anyway, since my ex is unemployed and we are in substantial debt. I just need time to process the situation and don't want to leave my house to stay with my daughter when I have a marriage to figure out whether or not to save. Ada Ate, 1. I have a hard time believing that her did just came from seeing you and your ex fight. Did stems from repeated trauma before the age of 9-ish. 2. You're punishing your daughter for your husband being inappropriate. Kick him out of the house while you figure things out. This. I can't believe more people aren't mentioning this. Someone doesn't develop did just from watching their parents fight. I hate to even imagine what kind of trauma that poor girl must have been through, to feel like her only way to escape and feel safe was to split off aspects of her personality into separate beings. The mother is a piece of shit for the way she is treating her daughter now. But I would bet money that her mistreatment of her daughter goes way back. For the daughter did something severely traumatic must have happened, and from what we can see, the mother definitely did something or didn't do anything to help her. Hell, even ignoring the DID, she told her mom she was suffering bullying that was in large part to mental health issues, and mom's response is along the line of, that seems like a you problem. That's what I was thinking. From my understanding, it stems from something like repeated SA at a very young age. Saying that's what did it is. The mother painting herself as the victim in the situation, that the daughter is traumatized from just witnessing her being abused. We have a narcissist. Bingo. My mother is a narcissist and chose to ignore me when my cries for help when stepfather was a creep and tried to film me naked. I found the camera. I was traumatized. Long story short, my mother chose him and caused all kind of trauma for me, and when she finally decided to leave him decades later, she had the audacity to come to me and played victim about it. Pure narcissistic manipulation and delusion. She said, he was so horrible to me, and I was forced to sacrifice you for the financial well-being of my other children. I snapped at her like, are you fucking insane? How dare you come to me and act like the victim after you pretended I was overreacting for decades? But yes, she is insane. So is this lady. A narcissist and abusive person. Yeah, as a victim of CSA and someone who's dealt with dissociation and continues to, this raised so many red flags for me. This shit doesn't materialize out of thin air or from seeing people yell. It's repeated emotional neglect at a minimum, and I'm guessing a lot more on top of that OP is neglecting to mention, or blissfully blind to dot. Also, comma, why even mention her daughter's mental health when the problem is her stepdad wanting to fuck her? Came here to say this. I was diagnosed with DID in 2021 and have done extensive research. It stems from abuse so severe and ongoing that the child's mind has to compartmentalism what is happening to them so that they can develop as normally as possible. This includes physical abuse, sexual abuse, extreme emotional abuse, and extreme neglect. In some rare cases can also be developed if the child has serious medical issues that requires invasive and traumatizing surgeries. Her daughter did not get DID from witnessing, she got it from what she endured. OP, you sound like my mother, just as selfish and delusional. YTA, majorly dot. This right here, the level of trauma for someone to develop DID is huge, lady. You fucked up this poor kid, and now you're letting her down again, picking some creepy loser over your child. Shame on you, YTA. Kick the husband out who can't keep his eyes and his penis to himself. Yes. How can she stand to stay in the presence of her husband after what he said? His stuff would be packed up and on the front porch in no time. Well, it wouldn't be the first time she's abandoned her daughter. Right? The whole childhood part where she didn't want to harass children is such bullshit. I don't know how people can stand by and watch their own human children in misery when they could do something about it. I guess my dad knew kids would target me. I've always been looked a bit nerdy, glasses mainly. So he always prepared me to deal with people. And that even extended to, some people don't understand anything but an ass whooping, so if someone doesn't stop no matter what you try, do what you have to do. And I only had to fight 3 times in grade school. Ugh, I can't even stand when my dog is getting bullied. I can't imagine just allowing people to fuck with a human that literally came from me. What a poor mother, YTAOP. You have no sympathy for your child? And you're even considering staying with this creep? Nah, you're a bad person. I feel so bad for that young girl. You are a terrible mother. You failed to protect her before, and you're doing it again. No wonder why she has issues. What should have happened is that you sent that D-bag husband of yours packing, if it's your house. Assure your daughter that you'll protect her. She's something else. She says she wants to process whether or not to save her marriage, and I'm like, what marriage? Her husband admitted he's attracted to her own daughter, and that's why he's refusing sex from OP. There's nothing to process other than she let this man live with her for years, and he's been pining for her daughter for God knows how long, and for first thing she does is kick her daughter out and figuring whether or not this is worth saving their marriage. I hope this post is fake because this is infuriating, and I can't comprehend how she's so delusional and spineless to this situation. What should have happened is that you sent that D-bag husband of yours packing, if it's your house. Assure your daughter that you'll protect her. Hell yes. Even if OP still wants to figure out whether her marriage might be worth saving, she could still as easily have asked her husband to leave while she does that, instead of, again, failing her daughter. No idea how bad her ex is, but him painting her as the villain here definitely isn't wrong.